A man in a business suit walked onto a plane with a briefcase. He walked off with $200,000 and was never seen again. It was November 24th, 1971, the day before Thanksgiving. A Boeing 727 lifted off from Seattle-Tacoma International Airport bound for Portland, Oregon. 36 passengers sat in the cabin, 6 crew members, and one man traveling under the name Dan Cooper, though the media would later call him something else entirely, something that'd stick for 50 years. Exhibit 1, the note. 20 minutes into the flight, Cooper approached flight attendant Florence Schaffner. He opened his briefcase. Inside, he claimed, was a bomb. He showed her what looked like dynamite wired to a battery. He handed her a note. It read, "I have a bomb." He was calm, polite even. He asked for parachute $200,000 in $20 bills and a guarantee that nobody would get hurt. The crew didn't test him. They didn't call his bluff because nobody knew if he was bluffing. In 1971, nobody had ever hijacked an American plane before. This was new, terrifying, real. The captain radioed ground control. Within hours, the FBI was scrambled. The money was gathered. The parachute was waiting. Exhibit 2, the demands were met. This is where the story gets strange. The FBI and the airline didn't negotiate, they complied. A local businessman named Al Lee helped organize the ransom. $200,000 in used 20s. No serial numbers in sequence. They loaded it into a duffel bag. The parachute arrived. Cooper had his escape route. The plane circled over the Pacific Northwest for hours, waiting, flying, buying time. Cooper kept his cool. He didn't threaten anyone. He didn't yell. He sat quietly, sometimes chatting with the flight crew. One steward remembered him as very polite. Here's the question that haunts investigators. Why didn't anyone stop him? What made this man so different? Exhibit 3, the jump itself. Around 8 p.m., somewhere over southwestern Washington, Cooper lowered the rear stairs of the 727. He was wearing a dark suit, a black tie, black sunglasses. He had the money strapped to his body, the parachute on his back, and then he jumped into the dark, into the rain, into legend. Nobody saw him land. The plane continued to Portland with its rear stairs open and its hijacker gone. The FBI mobilized every resource. They searched the forest, they searched the roads, they searched the rivers. They found nothing, no body, no parachute, no money, nothing. Exhibit 4, the money appears 9 years later, 1980. A boy named Richard Floyd McCoy Jr., no relation to Cooper, was digging along the Columbia River with his stepfather. $8,000 surfaced in the sand, soggy, moldy, but traceable. The serial numbers matched. They were from Cooper's ransom. The money had drifted downstream, but where was the rest? Here's what we know for certain. Cooper jumped into darkness over rugged terrain. He was carrying $200,000 in a heavy bag. He wore a business suit and cheap shoes, not ideal for wilderness survival. The temperature was dropping. The rain was coming. He had a parachute, sure, but did he know how to land safely? Did he survive the jump at all? Exhibit 5, the theories multiply. Over decades, investigators narrowed down who Cooper might have been. A former paratrooper, a military man, someone with training, someone with knowledge of aircraft. The FBI published a profile, but they never found him, not alive, not dead, not anywhere. In 2016, the FBI officially suspended active investigation. They didn't close it, they suspended it. That distinction matters. It means they're not looking anymore, but they're not saying he's dead. They're not saying he's innocent. They're saying we don't know, and maybe we never will. So let's separate fact from myth. Fact, Cooper existed. He boarded a real plane. He made real demands. Fact, the money was real. $8,000 washed up on a real riverbank. Myth, that he survived, that he lived to spend the money, that he was ever caught. None of that is proven. What remains unknown is bigger. Did he jump with the intent to die? Was this a suicide mission disguised as a crime? Did he land safely and disappear into a new life? Did someone recognize him and keep quiet? Did his body wash into the Pacific, never to be found? Here's what the evidence tells us. A man claiming to have a bomb hijacked a plane. He asked for money and a parachute. The authorities gave him both. He jumped and vanished. Everything else, every suspect, every theory, every deathbed confession is speculation built on a foundation of mystery. The FBI checked hundreds of suspects over the years. Robert Rackstraw, Richard Floyd McCoy, Dan Cooper himself, if that was even his real name. None of them could be proven as the jumper. None of them could be proven innocent. The case sits in limbo, not solved, not abandoned, just waiting. What would you have done? You're in that cockpit, you're the captain. A man tells you he's got a bomb. He's calm, he's polite, he's specific. Do you believe him? Do you call the bluff? Do you risk 36 passengers on a hunch? The crew chose compliance, and maybe that was the smart choice. 50 years later, D.B. Cooper remains the only unsolved case of air piracy in commercial aviation history. The money is still out there, most of it. The parachute never surfaced. The man never confessed. The mystery never closed, and that's the point. Some stories don't have endings, they just have questions. Subscribe for weekly deep dives into cases where the evidence doesn't add up, where myths crack open and mysteries refuse to close.